Hello, my name is Nicholl, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, Used and Abused Again? Yes, again. This being used and abused tends to happen more so around the holiday season, but in subtle ways. We're not talking about the overt ways that the using and abusing had already been done earlier in the year, mid-year. But now it is subtle because the decorations are up, the gifts are being talked about, the money being saved, being spent, being allocated to do whatever with whoever. There is a lot of distraction taking place that is keeping one from paying close attention to the manipulation and the gaslighting and the isolation and the narcissism and the sociopathic, antisocial, what have you, types of behaviors that are ongoing. It is very easy to just sweep all of that under the rug because the Christmas tree is up, the decorations are here, there, and everywhere. People are talking about happy holidays and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's and how have you been, and it's been a long time, and folks are on their best behavior, even the unbelievers, even those who are of darkness, those who are into all sorts of religions, all sorts of faiths. People are on their best behavior because I don't want to mess with you, because I know you're in a good mood, and I don't want you messing with me because I'm in a good mood, and let us all be peaceful and loving, harmonious during the holiday seasons. Now, what is going on with the victim? While the manipulator, the charming one, is saying all things nice and righteous. The victim is believing that everything is okay. The victim is making his or herself, talking his or herself into believing she's fine with me. It's all good. And he's okay with me, and he's not going to put his hands on me again. And as long as I do this and as long as I say that, this one's not going to jump up in my face. But the wolf is only going into hiding. Yes, some of you all are dealing with wolves of family members and friends and co-workers and even strangers on the street who appear to be kind and peaceful and loving and gentle and sweet as a lamb. But inside, they are ravenous wolves. They are the enemy, seeking whom he or she can devour. Wolves sit back and they know. They know that a sheep is just so fragile, so innocent. A sheep is just minding his or her own business. And meanwhile, the wolf is contemplating on how am I going to get a hold of that sheep and what that sheep has. I know that this message is going to be cutting for some people who want to only believe that the glass is half full, but I don't operate like that. My God doesn't operate like that. The glass is not always half full. Sometimes we got to look at that glass and see it for what it is. It's half empty, and I need somebody to fill my cup up. And so the wolf is looking for you, sheep, to fill his cup up. And the holiday season is the perfect time to play the guilt trip, to look sad, to look depressed, to look like, oh, why am I not able to get? And then the victim comes along and says, oh, I want to make you feel better. Let me fill your cup up. And the wolf says, yep. And then after you fill this cup up, I'm going to go and get somebody else to fill my cup up again. And then I'm going to use somebody to help out with this thing and that thing because it's the holiday season. And I know how this one and that one is about the holiday season. They tend to be more giving this time of year. They tend to be better behaved. They tend to do what I ask. The wolf has a plan, but do you, sheep? Oh, that's right. You don't have a shepherd. Matter of fact, I get some people who come through who don't even believe in a shepherd. So they're out there grazing. They're out there, once again, minding their own business. And I'm not getting mixed up with whatever. And the wolf knows this. And so the wolf is just watching from afar, coming up with a plan, watching how you operate, and using your routine, using the things you talk about, the things you write about, the places you go, to orchestrate a plan against you. That's why a long time ago I wrote Know Your Enemy, the Christian's Critic, because I had to see what was happening to me and with different people in writing so that I could be able to formulate a plan, come on, in Jesus' mighty name, with my shepherd to be able to slay the wolf. I know that some of you all, you've never seen a sheep slay a wolf, but I'm telling you, God, he uses his people in so many different ways to slay wolves. That person, that victim, that one who looks harmless ends up being the one that can turn a situation around where all the wolves are behind bars. Because some folks, that's where they need to be. Freedom is not a good look on them. And they want to continue to abuse people. They don't need to be free. They want to continue to use people. They don't need to stay in the household where they can continue to use people. I'm giving some people some instruction. Did you catch hold? Because all this talking and complaining and crying and looking up YouTube videos is getting old for some of you all. And now it's time to put a plan into action. And our one true God has given us the resources over and over again to do just that. But are you ready? Are you ready? Some folks say, I'm not ready because I need a certain amount of money and I need a location and I need this, that, and the other. Well, you should be doing your research then on trying to get those monies, trying to get the new place. If you are the one that says, well, you know what, health is a problem and I'm relying on someone and blah, 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 and this person is hurting me. Well, there are people out there who deal with all sorts of abuses. And if you just talk with those individuals, you can be able to get the help from those people while you kick out that one that, sorry, I don't need your help any longer. Yes, even in a wheelchair, some folks can kick some people out of their homes. It's called 911. I gave her 30 days to get out my house and she didn't want to get out my house. She keep messing with my monies, keep messing with my things that are in this house. She's not really supposed to be here because some people got those type of restrictions, but yet they gave somebody to pass. It is time to enforce rules that are in existence. It is time to make sure that you get the necessary help that is out there to get some users and abusers out of your space. And for some of you all, you don't even have to go that far. It's simply changing your phone number or blocking some phone numbers. For other people, it's not even about even that. It's simply just not giving them your number to begin with. When you see them at the next family holiday event, nope, I'm not giving you my number. You already know where I stand. They won't have to figure it out. You won't have to make up any excuses. Got a new number? You don't have to give that number out. You can block the number so that they can't see it pop up on your phone if you must call somebody. But I'm telling you, if you are down with the solutions, then we're going to talk solutions. But if you're down with that victim mentality of, oh, woe is me, and I don't know how I'm going to get out of this thing, and it's, it sounds easier than it is, and blah, blah, blah. If you want to just keep on with that, then I'm sorry. This isn't the channel for you, because I am not the one that's going to stroke victims. I'm not going to sit up there and just be like, okay, it's all right to stay a victim. No, I am that one that says, we coming out of this thing. We coming out of this thing. The one true God, he grabbed me, who was in that victim mentality years ago. He grabbed me up out of my situation. Temporarily, I was in a spot that I was not happy about, but God said it's temporary. And you know why it's temporary? And I'm thinking to myself, why? He said, because you are going to start looking for a place. And when he gave me the green light, I started looking for a place. Then the question came up, well, how am I going to get the money? And then the next thing I know, I thought, well, wait a minute. All I got to do is start looking for ways to make extra money on top of the money that I already have. And then before I knew it, I was going into a room and telling the two people, I'm moving. And those two people were my parents. Okay? I'm not staying here. I'm moving. I know sometimes, once again, it gets to be so energy draining to deal with some folks, doesn't it? Because you have to deal with them for a time period. I get it. But those storms don't last for always. I know you have your share of regrets and your guilt, and I wasn't acting very godly the other day, and yes, I was thinking in a victim mentality, will never get out of this and all of that. But God, he reminds us, using various people, places, and things to encourage us that you will be free, that you do have the resources, that you do have the plan if you just sit down long enough and get those things done, rather than zero in on the negativity and keep yourself bound in a situation that you know full well is not beneficial. Mentally, physically, spiritually, nothing. But when we up and do things without a plan and without a shepherd, we end up being that sheep that's grazing and doesn't know what's going to hit him or her. Because the wolf is coming to pounce on some folk. He's coming quick, or she's coming strong. They're going to charm, they're going to sweet talk, or they're just going to all out come in one day and just beat somebody senseless. And even if you do get caught up in that storm because, whoa, I didn't see it coming, understand that God will raise you up. He'll bring you out, because now you do see. Now you aren't the ostrich with your head in the sand. I got my head up now, because sometimes that's what it takes for some people to believe that they're in danger. Is danger got to show up. I don't want to learn the hard way. I learned the hard way a long time ago. I don't want to learn the hard way. God say that the wolf is watching. The wolf is out there. The wolf don't like you. I say, okay, I'm ready for the wolf when he show up. And he going to be sorry he ever showed up. You see what I mean? Then you got some individuals who, they sit up there and they say, you know what? This using and abusing is getting old. And the Lord says, yep, I've been trying to tell you. I've been using people. Not trying, but he has been telling some people. What you going to do about it? Victim says, I'm going to say no to that invite this year. Hallelujah and praise the Lord. I know you feel a little uncomfortable. It's not the right thing to you because you're used to it. But hey, you're getting tired of being used and abused, right? The victim comes up with a plan, says, you know what, I need an exit plan out of here. And I heard that there are those different environments, different organizations, things out there that can help me. So she does the necessary research and she finds where she can go. And then you got some individuals who, they say, you know what, every year it seems like I'm always the one that's putting my money out there. These other people, they're not contributing. So what you going to do, victim? I'm going to pull back. All right. I'm going to make sure that they don't get my money this year. I'm going to take all this stuff back. Let me tell you, one time I went out And I spent over $100 and some odd. This was years ago, buying all sorts of cleaning supplies, as well as other things for this place that I was moving into with this abusive man. He wasn't as bad around that particular time. I was still able to tolerate certain things. You're not supposed to tolerate any form of abuse, but in my mindset, I was able to tolerate certain things. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm going to buy some things for the apartment. And then there was an argument that morning, and I was disappointed. I forget what all took place. And I tell you, I took those bags and I stood in line where returns was. And it was a whole lot of stuff. And the lady said, "You returning this, even bathroom cleaner?" I said, "Even that too." And I returned all those items and I got my money back. And I had a sense of peace for doing that. Now, some people, you wouldn't be so bold. You go head on and you just, I'm going to buy it anyway. I'm not going to take this back. The Lord is telling me right now, I'm hearing it in the spirit, that it's not too late to take that very expensive item that you bought that man back to the store. And yes, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble because you may have already told somebody and that person told him, and then he's going to be looking for it on Christmas Day. But you know what? It's better to go ahead and deal with the consequences of not having that item than to bring it into that house and be caught up in that snare all over again. And maybe it's going to take another major falling out, something traumatic, something where you might end up having a permanent scar on your body, because that's what it took for me. I had to have a permanent scar in my body, get caught up in a fight for me to finally realize and wake up that I got to go. Because for some folks, just talking is not good enough for you. People coming over and telling you, giving you some love, telling you you're loved by a child of God. That's why the Lord, I understand now why he didn't want me going to scriptures today. Because some folks, they done already heard the scriptures. They've already been to the church. They've already had some people hug them and hold them. But what you haven't had yet is that major whipping that's going to send you to the hospital for you to wake up. What you haven't had yet is that permanent scar on your body. See, for some of you all on the outside looking in, that you don't have these type of problems because you got away from your users and abusers a long time ago. You're witnessing what is going down for some individuals because they refuse. They refuse to take sound wisdom advice and get gone and get out. And they keep telling themselves what they can't do, what they won't do. So it has to be a major storm, something that just God allows to come into their households to get them to finally wake up and get gone. Okay? Those of you all who are counselors and psychologists and teachers and educators, I know that you don't want to see these sorts of things happen to people. Not another burial, not another form of abuse, not this person who we've grown to love and really cherish, not them. Please, Lord, don't let it happen to them. But sometimes, once again, it has to happen for 500 other people to wake up. A sacrifice of sorts. Because Jesus dying on a cross wasn't good enough for them. They want to be hung on a cross too. They want to go through the fires too. They think that their way of salvation or of getting out of their situation is going to be by staying in it and taking the abuse. Twisted mentalities, but this is the mindset of some individuals. And that is why your teaching, your preaching, your counseling, your efforts are not getting anywhere with some individuals. Because their victim mentality says, it is okay, it's all right. He's going to change, she's going to be better. All I got to do is buy this gift. All I got to do is take this person to yet another event and spend my money. All you got to do is let go. All you got to do is distance yourself. All you got to do is turn off phones. All you got to do is change phone numbers. All you got to do is move elsewhere. All you got to do is be free. We are called to be free, not be in somebody's bondage, not walk by the beat of their drum, not be the one that sits up there and thinks that what they're saying and what they're doing, oh well, Even though it hurts me, I'm just going to settle for it. They'll change. No, they won't. A lot of times I will tell you, I spent years with some individuals saying, oh, this person's going to change. Oh, yeah, they're going to be all right. They're going to be good. I'm just going to buy this and do my part and everything's going to be happy in the hood. And let me tell you, no, things got worse. Because when a person has been exposed to abuse and a person doesn't see that they're wrong in the things that they're saying and doing that hurts others, they don't change. Those are the toughest people, the people who to get through. Some of these men who talk to other men who are abusers and users. Man, you need to stop doing that to your girl. Man, you need to just come up out of that thing. You know, if she is this way and that way, you don't like her, then you just need to move on. Nah, I'm going to say this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to continue to get this and that from her. Okay? Even those individuals, they get to a point where they say, I can't talk to this brother no more. Because this brother don't see where he's wrong. And so you start to see these so-called best friends, good friends, or what have you, they distance themselves because they see unrighteousness, evil, ugly, dark, and they don't want to be an accomplice to the abuse, to what could turn out to be a murder later on. Because now the guy wants to run over and say, oh, I can't believe what I did, man. I hurt her the other day real bad this time. Well, where's she at? She on the floor. Well, do you know if her heart's still beating or anything? Did you call the paramedics? Nah, man, I'm over here with you. No, I don't want you to be in the house with me. I want you out. I'm not getting caught up in that. You see, real stories are out there. And this is why for some of you all, you can no longer be the accomplice. You can no longer be the accomplice to the abuser and user. And that leads me to the next audio. So for those of you all who have not checked that one out, you will need to check that one out. And that is being the accomplice to the user and abuser. Well, thank you, as always, for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen. Be encouraged this day. It is time to cut off some people. I don't know how long we're going to keep on warning some people with these sorts of messages. I know some of them sound a little bit redundant, but I still got these people in my network, y'all. And they're not trying to leave anytime soon. But God said it's a new year, it's a new season, and it's new beginnings for some folks, and you might as well make the effort. So for those of you all who this message didn't really resonate with you because, well, you know, you're not being used and abused, thank God, but you don't want to be an accomplice to any using and abusing in the future. So do check out that audio. Blessings to you. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. Subscribe, like, comment.